What's up, everybody? Grab your weed and fire it up. It's time for Smoking Weed and Talking MMA, episode number 45. My name is Jarrod. I'm here as usual with my buddy Paul.
What up?
We are coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada. Today's episode, we are going to be talking a little bit about the results of last week's Fight Night Uruguay. We're going to be taking a look ahead to the big heavyweight showdown at UFC 241, make some predictions on the rest of that card. We're going to talk about some fight announcements this week in both MMA and boxing. But first, we're going to get started with our weed of the week.
Smoke weed every day.
Today we are smoking on two very cool strains. First is a Dirty Sprite, which I think Paul just took a hit of. What's cool about this weed is its genetics are completely unknown, so not a lot to talk about except it's a sativa hybrid. It's another in the line of kind of rare weed we've been trying to find and smoke here on the show. I haven't smoked any of this yet except for just like one hit before the ep started. What do you think of it, man? It's supposed to be kind of citrusy, kind of musky.
Yeah, I like it.
Supposed to be kind of
It's got
an
good
energetic
flavor. It's got I don't know. Definitely has like that citrusy taste in the back of your throat.
Ooh. Yeah, it's pretty mellow, flavor-wise.
Yeah. Hits you like a Mack truck though. Jesus Christ. I smoked like 3 bowls of that before this show. I'm feeling it.
It's kind of purpley on the leaves. I like it. It breaks down kind of cool. It's purple.
Yeah.
Nice bright orange hairs, dark-ass purple. Mm-hmm. The other weed we got, I do know a bit about, though. That's another sativa hybrid. But this is Bruce Banner. Now, I like the Bruce Banner because of its genetics. It's in the diesel strain, which everybody knows I like. But this is Bruce Banner's OG Kush crossed with strawberry diesel. OG Kush is kind of that backbone strain we talked about a lot on the show because shit, man, it's in like half the fucking weed we smoke, right?
Yeah.
But that strawberry diesel is New York City diesel crossed with strawberry cough, which is fucking bomb. Both of those right there are good weed.
Yeah, just be careful. You'll hulk out if you smoke that weed.
Get a Hulk out. I'm going to try that right here. I've actually had this weed for a couple days myself. We got that in this pipe. Very, very good THC count on this. This one came from a dispensary. Its THC content is like 27%, which is pretty fucking good. And it's got a nice terpene profile. The Dirty Sprite is some street weed. It comes from a good connect. We know it comes from California, and it's fucking really, really good. Like it's funny out here, man. You can still get better street weed. If you're on YouTube, you can get a look at that Dirty Sprite right now. You can still get better weed on the street here than in dispensaries.
Yeah.
If you got a good hookup. Being so close to Cali. Yeah, it is unfortunate, honestly. If
Plus, we're still in a place where like the market isn't really like booming enough for the prices to go down yet. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's still kind of like a select market when you think about the entire like population of the city. You know, like there's a select like group of people that are hitting all these dispensaries, but I feel like once it becomes just like more of a normal thing, like once all these clubs and shit start popping up, and I mean now with literally like there's been so many doors that have been kicked down for like reasons of people not smoking in the last like few months, like the whole thing with the job thing.
Yeah,
so
now
like,
it's illegal. The governor signed it into law recently. Jobs can no longer be denied to you if you test positive for marijuana. Like employers cannot deny you employment if you smoke weed, which is a big deal here in Vegas because all the casinos were still doing drug testing, including marijuana, and denying people jobs in a state where it's perfectly fucking legal to smoke weed.
And then also with the cannabis clubs, you could have people that maybe don't want to smoke weed at home because they have kids or whatnot.
Right.
And they could go out to a cannabis club and smoke there because right now, necessarily, you can't really just go out in public and smoke. That's illegal still. So, and I don't really see that going away just because, you know, the smell of weed and shit like that.
Yeah, that's still going to be technically illegal.
Yeah, but opening of clubs really, like, you know, it gives other people opportunities, you know.
No, that's a good thing. We're looking forward to those actually fucking happening here. But
so hopefully that makes
another reason that our prices remain pretty high here in dispensaries, you know, compared to other states is even though the moratorium lifted, there was an 18-month moratorium where only licensed medical dispensaries prior to us going legal here could sell recreational cannabis. And so there was only 47 dispensaries.
Yeah.
And now just this year in 2019, that time period is over, but the city still only issued, or the state, like 10 or 15 additional licenses. So there's under 60 dispensaries, is my main point, in this metropolitan area. Whereas like you compare that to say Denver, Denver has over 600.
Jesus.
So you can go in Denver and get a fucking eighth for $20.
Or dude, like in Oregon right now, they're sitting on
Oregon's
a
got a surplus.
Like I
They
knew
have
some
a
people
huge
that were up
surplus
there a
of
couple
weed,
weeks
yeah.
ago
Yeah.
talking about you could get a freaking eighth for like $8.
No, that's legit. That's totally legit. They have over 20,000. This is an article I read about 3 months ago, so it might be the number's a little off right
It was
now.
an ounce
but
for $60.
They had over 20,000 surplus pounds of marijuana.
Jesus.
It was some fucking thing that they did. I can't remember the details right now, but it had to do with the law where everybody had to grow a bunch at once or some bullshit. And it gave them this massive fucking surplus where, like these people can't give that weed away.
Yeah. Talking like straight up, he was talking about $60 for a whole ounce.
Yeah, that's
what
legit.
the fuck?
That's fucking crazy, right?
It's crazy.
They fucked up. California fucked up too. It's the opposite in California. Is they're taxing and making it so hard to get a legit grow license that there's a massive amount of fucking illegal grow ops still going on in California, which, for instance, is how we wind up with so much street weed here in Vegas coming out of Cali. You know, we're just obviously one state over.
Yeah.
And so we're first in the little pipeline that heads out east.
Yeah, plus
But-
it's Las Vegas.
Yeah, and plus it's Vegas, baby.
Stupid.
I'm going to hit this fucking weed. Let's dive into last week's fights, because there's not much to talk about on the UFC Uruguay card, except for the main event, which is kind of boring, but still a masterful performance by Shevchenko, right? She wins against
Yeah.
Carmouche in a decision. And
Yeah,
then the
Carmouche
co-main.
just never really got going, you know. She just it was a lot of testing her range, a lot of, throwing big shots from far away, nothing really close, nothing really threatening, and Shevchenko just picked her shots and she won the grappling battles as well, which I was surprised.
Yeah, she's throwing her around a bit grappling.
Yeah.
I was a little surprised on that, too. That's one area where I think we all figured Carmouche would have an advantage, right?
Well, early it was very evident that Shevchenko didn't want to grapple with her at all because she was standing on the outside and Liz was standing on the outside. So it was the first round was like who can punch, who can land, because both of them were just hitting air. But like Shevchenko still outstruck her in that round. I feel like, you know what I mean? Like it was just kind of one of those situations where both of them were standing at such a far distance away from each other that like both of them had to make like a move to land a combo or just one big shot. You know what I'm saying? They were not standing in the pocket whatsoever. You know what I mean? It was rough. But I mean, Shevchenko just shows her dominance again though. It's not like it was boring to a level where we need to see it again, you know.
Right. Well, the co-main event saw a split decision going to Vicente Luque
Yeah, dude,
over
that was
Mike
a
Perry
fucking great fight.
in a welterweight contest, which some folks are saying is a candidate for fight of the year. I don't know if it was that
Could
good,
be.
but
It was just super
pretty
back and
awesome. It
forth,
was very
man.
back and forth, very bloody.
Two game motherfuckers. But Mike Perry, man, once again, while you got your girl in the corner, leaving Jackson's back to, I'm pretty sure, training damn near out of his own like place.
Garage.
Yeah,
I don't
dude,
know.
So I don't know, man.
I don't know about that move. He's a
don't-
warrior, though, man. That knows.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt that he's game. But his gameness just needs to like have some technique behind it. Because when you
Absolutely.
watched him when he fought Cowboy, in that short amount of time they fought, he did look better.
Yeah, he did.
And I feel like last night he kind of just went out there and was the old Mike Perry, where he was just throwing everything he had in every shot. He didn't gas, but he had a good gas tank, don't get me wrong, but he was just throwing.
He's got an iron fucking chin. Taking
yeah,
that
absolutely.
knee to the face that he took
Yeah.
that damaged his nose like that. I mean, his nose was so fucked up. He had to go into surgery right after the fight.
It was fucking rough.
I mean,
He looked like Quasimodo.
by the next morning, he'd already been through surgery. So
Dude,
yeah,
it was nasty.
Yeah.
He looked like the guy from the Goonies.
yeah, he did.
He did, dude. His
was
face
fucked
was
up,
fucked up. Oh my gosh! If you guys haven't seen the fight, go watch the highlights. In the third round, Perry takes Luque down, and he lands in like a guillotine position, but he doesn't really have it all the way. So he's just kind of squeezing Mike Perry's head, and his fucking blood is just pouring out of his face. He's squeezing the blood out of his face.
Yeah, literally.
And Mike Perry, like, not tapping at all. He's just punching him in the ribs the whole time. And it was a war. You know, it was
Perry's
two
tough
game
as fuck.
motherfuckers at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It was a split decision. So
I think it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
And you can't be mad about it either way. Same thing.
And then
No.
you got Luque, though, now 6 fights in a row.
Yeah, he's got
Better
something
get
good.
that man a number next to his name. I thought he
say.
deserved one after the Barbarino win, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he did too. At least a low ranking. You know,
Yeah.
15-14 down in there. But no. We'll see. He should now.
He better, man. I can't believe those were 2 masterful performances by him, and showing that he can go deep into the rounds and still be fresh.
Right.
You know, because in both those fights, he came out in the third and pushed the pace and put the lasting impression on the judges. You know, especially when he fought Barbarina. I think he finished him in the third, didn't he?
I believe so. Well, what the fuck does Mike Perry do now? 'Cause he's on a bit of a...
Needs to take
You
some
know, if you're
time,
looking at
dude.
his record, it's
Needs
not
to take
looking
more
too hot.
time, I guess.
I don't think
I
his
mean-
job's in danger. Dana loves
No.
this kind of shit. So
Well, here's the thing. He's one of those guys who's not ever out of it. He's just willing to risk it is the problem, you know? He's never getting outclassed. He's just always willing to, like, throw bombs, and it gets him in trouble sometimes, you know?
yeah, he's always fun to watch, though. I think people are starting to tune in anytime Perry's on for sure. But shit, as far as Shevchenko, no real contenders for her at the moment either. So
She's going to fight Caitlin Chikugian next.
well, good luck, Caitlin. Let's wrap up Uruguay then. I don't think there's much else on that card. You know, we mentioned it last week, and again, I can't help but mention that was a weak ass card. It was just a fight night, but
Oh, actually, there was one more fight. Lear Latifi and
the
Volkan
Volkan
Ozdemir.
Ozdemir. That's
yeah,
true.
Ozdemir looked good, man.
Yeah.
It was strange though. Okay, so in the first round, Latifi comes out, looks pretty fresh, you know, starts using his wrestling, slams Volkan on his skull, but he gets back up pretty quick. And then after, like, they did a little bit of grappling, they just broke, and, like, Latifi just started bouncing off the cage, like, tired as fuck in the first round. And so, you know, Ozdemir, as he normally does, just put the pace on him and then ended the first round, almost finished him, I think. I mean, you never really know, because when a guy's tired, you know, they're kind of wobbling back and forth, you know.
Sure.
And who knows exactly how many of those shots were hurt him, or was it just fatigue? Because, dude, he came in there super, like, he's always carried a lot of muscle, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
he's a stocky dude.
He's a stocky dude, but he's come into more of his other fights a lot more cut than he did last night. Last night, he just looked like he's carrying a little extra.
Well, Latifi'd
weight
been
on him.
talking about fighting at heavyweight
I don't know why.
instead of 205.
He's too small.
And
man.
he's short.
He's really
Man,
short.
He's short for 205. I'm trying to picture him at heavyweight. That'd be...
Yeah. So then in the second, Ozdemir, same shit, just puts it on him, and then drops him twice. I want to say maybe 3 times, and then puts him away. He was finishing him on the ground. First, it was like a TKO. Goes to finish him on the ground, and lands like a big left right on his jaw, and he just went flat like face. It was rough.
That's rough, but that's a big win for
Ozdemir,
Ozdemir
yeah, he
because he was
needed
on a
that.
bad streak there. He couldn't lose this fight really.
Yeah. What was that going to be his 4th if he would?
Yeah, it was a must-win situation, and sounds like he came out and delivered exactly what he was supposed to do, which is
Yep. And now you got Alistair, who's at 0-2 in his last 2 and 37 years old.
yeah,
Where do you go from there?
not anywhere great.
Yeah.
I like the dude, but I think he should
Unless
be looking
he
more
wa-
at middleweight
I guess
instead
you
of
can go
fucking
heavyweight. Yeah, I don't know.
Whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do. But let's jump ahead to UFC 241 because it's got the big boys fighting. Heavyweight championship of the world, Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic, number 2.
Let's talk about the bottom of the card first. And then
Yeah,
work
we've
our
got a
way up.
pretty good main card. It kind of quality drops a bit after the pay-per-view. There's a few good fights on the undercard, though. Which would you like to start with?
Well, we can go with Corey Sandhagen and Rafael Assunção.
That's probably my favorite fight
prelims.
on the undercard, on the prelims there. Because I'm a fucking Sandhagen fan.
Yeah,
That kid's made me a
Yeah,
believer.
he's working.
Yeah. I think he takes this fight. Actually, I'm on the Sandhagen train.
Man, you think Assunção is going to lose back to back?
I think he is. Yeah, I think Assunção's time as an elite is falling a little bit, and Sandhagen's is rising. That's my prediction.
Could be right, but could be too much too soon at the same time, because now you're talking about a guy in Assunção who's literally only lost to the last 2 champions in the division. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's losing to the Sterlings or losing to the...
No, I don't mean to sound like he's shot or anything. I just think
he's not losing to Rivera. He's not losing people like that. He's losing to the guys who are literally fighting for the belt.
Yeah. I think Sandhagen's going to win decision.
Could be right, but I think I'm going to go with the Assunção. I think it's going to be a close fight. I just think the vet in him could be his biggest, like...
Ooh, Bruce Banner. Careful, I might Hulk out, man. You think the vet in him's going to pull through?
Yeah, the vet in him's going to pull through late, I feel. Like, I know Sandhagen's not, like, super young, but Assunção's been in some of the biggest fights in the division.
It's true. Absolutely.
This is only 3 rounds, though.
It is a 3-rounder, but either way, I think we're in for a fucking nonstop action fight.
Yeah, definitely.
What else you got after that? We're split on
Then
that
let's
one.
just go to...
I mean, there's a few other fights on the main card that might
Yeah.
be good, but there's not. I mean, on the undercard. This is just continuing with the trend since the ESPN took
Well, they're
take
just
over these
stashing all the
pretty
young
weak
guys now.
prelims.
Yeah, they're just stashing all the young guys in there now. Even a lot of the main cards, they're starting to stash the young kids all over the fucking place in these cards.
We'll see if it
because I'm
pays
pretty
off.
sure even last night, Mike Perry and Luque, I don't think they were the co-main event. Pretty sure there was a fight after them.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. But let's go back. Well, let's start at the bottom of the main card then.
Derek Brunson.
Derek Brunson taking on Ian Hurt. I don't know how to say it. Heinz.
I'm not sure how to say it either because I can't believe this kid's ranked 10th, and honestly, neither one of us knows shit about him. I hadn't really heard of him before.
I've seen him.
He looks vaguely familiar to me. I don't know.
Well, he's 12 and 1. He's 12 and 1. He's got 2 big wins. Derek Brunson coming off of that win against what's his name? The Ring Royal.
Yeah.
What the fuck's his name?
Elias
Theodoro, yeah, coming off that weird fight. That was a strange one.
It was a strange fight. Theodoro saw the door after that fight.
Yeah. And then before that, Brunson had lost 3 in a row. So this could be a chance for him to put himself right back in the mix, or a chance for this kid to show that he can
bang with the big boys. Yeah. I don't know enough to make a prediction on here other than I would favor Brunson just because I don't know who this fucking
I'm going to go with the other guy just
Are you?
because I don't like Brunson.
I don't really like Brunson either, man. I don't know why.
He's not likable.
That could be it. That could be the fucking reason, Paul. He's just not.
Well, you
want to
hear about a fight I really do like?
What's that?
We've been waiting for fucking ever.
Fucking
oh my
ever?
God.
Who? Tell me.
Yoel Romero versus Paulo Costa.
Oh my God! Isn't this like the 3rd time this
Dude,
fight's been booked?
I think it's the
time?
4th.
I didn't even believe it was going to happen. I was like, yeah, I've heard that story before.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Dude, the battle of
Right
the
around the
genetics,
corner.
dude.
These are like a couple fucking superhero action figures
For real.
battling in the ring. Like a couple fucking bodybuilders decided to come in and brawl.
For real.
Like what the hell, man? Seriously.
It is, dude. These fools are savages. I think Yoel's going to fuck him
And they're
up.
both at 185 pounds, which is kind of
Sure they
crazy
are.
when you see them. Right? What do you think they're entering the octagon at? You think they're cracking 200? They gotta be, right?
Maybe.
They're fucking huge.
Yoel said he walks around like 210.
He just must be so fucking lean all the time. He's like a machine. How long can he keep going? He's 40,
Ever.
41.
Forever.
Is he going to stop? I mean, is this the fight where the youth is going to catch up to him, you think?
Fuck no. Not Paulo Costa. You know what? I honestly,
I don't think so either.
I thought Uriah Hall was piecing him up
He
in his
was.
last fight before he got hit with those big shots.
Yeah, he was.
You get credit where credit's due. He did finish Hall and outlast him, but Hall was tagging him up, and I just don't feel like he's going to be able to stand in front of Yoel and just throw a bunch of strikes and hit land like he's used to, you know? This is not Johnny Hendricks. This is not fucking Uriah Hall. This is a huge step up in competition.
Yeah, he's going to get beat.
I think Yoel is going to put himself right back in the mix. This very well could be a title contender fight right here. Because
Yeah, if Romero wins, how do you not give him a title shot against
same thing with Costa.
Adesanya, Whitaker?
Same thing with Costa. Isn't Costa undefeated?
Yeah, he's undefeated, yeah. True, he comes in and beats fucking Romero.
And him
then
and
how do you deny
him and Adesanya have had back and forths. If
Yeah.
Adesanya were to beat Whitaker,
Which we both think is likely.
and then you get a third fight with Yoel and fucking Whitaker as the fight underneath it, you know,
That'd be dope.
I'll take
I
that
don't know
all
if Whitaker
day.
wants to do that, though.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to do that.
Jesus.
You know, he said he compared it to running into a brick wall.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard other fighters say similar, like, it hurts to punch that motherfucker.
yeah, fucking Rockhold said he like it hurt to hit him. He said he like felt like he was made of steel.
Fucking Romero, man.
He's a savage, dude. Not a lot of people know like how much of like a vet he is across like even wrestling too. He beat Cael Sanderson.
Yeah.
No one, people don't
People
understand.
don't understand that.
Like
Even I understand that. But he doesn't get to...
DC couldn't beat Cael.
Right.
Fucking Yoel beat Cael when he was like 20, and Cael was in his prime. Like, dude, Yoel's a fucking G. I mean, he didn't like beat him in more matches than Cael beat him, but he did. I think he beat him
He's
2 or
got
3
victories
times,
over him, yeah.
which Cael's in a lot of people's eyes the greatest wrestler of all time.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's like people don't understand how much of a high level athlete Yoel Romero has been his whole life. You know, like how long has Paulo Costa been at the high level? I don't know.
What is Costa, 11-0, 12-0?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I just think in situations where Yoel needs to put on a big performance, he always does. You know?
He fucking does.
And I think this is going to be another big one.
Yeah, I like him in that fight, too.
Now we got the
100%.
fucking... Probably going to be the fight of the fucking year next.
At welterweight, Nate Diaz versus Anthony Pettis in the
Yeah.
co-main event. Yeah.
That
Man.
is fight of the year candidate right there.
The only thing I'm bummed about with this fight is it's 3 rounds.
Me too, dude.
Should have been a
Because
headliner.
if they
and
go,
got that
if they go
dog.
5, dude, oh,
Fuck.
even 3 though, it's gonna be
It's gonna be a
violent,
great
bro.
fight.
It's gonna be
great.
violent.
So risky move for Diaz.
Not really. Look at Pettis, man. Look at what he's done in the
No,
last
I mean,
5
I
years.
think Diaz is going to win, but it's risky because if he loses, does he tarnish the Conor McGregor trilogy fight, or do you think that's always there?
No, because I don't think. Let me just give you my point exactly on
You tell me.
where. Look at Anthony Pettis as far as his progression as a fighter over the last 5 years. We're looking at it, how many wins do you think he has, and how many losses do you think?
Well,
he
I
has?
know. If it was a graph, it would definitely be sliding down.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Out of like, do you think he'd have more wins or more losses in
I
the
mean, he's
last?
got more losses. Which
That's
is
what I'm
crazy.
thinking.
Yeah.
So
Didn't he go for like 2 and 5?
that's what I'm saying. He went
Over
like
a
2 and
stretch?
5 over a really, really like
Yeah.
bumpy stretch, man. He was losing to like people he should not have lost to.
Yeah.
And but I mean he's got it back on track. I mean in his last fight, it was a great knockout, but he was not winning that fight up to that point.
No, Thompson was piecing him up, but credit to Pettis, he took it.
Yeah,
Just
absolutely.
right back.
That's true. But my point is, Nate Diaz, you got to hit him with everything you have, and then get some from your corner.
He ain't
hit him
knocking
with that
Nate Diaz
too,
out.
and then go into the crowd, start grabbing people, hit him with them too, and then maybe he'll go down.
Maybe.
That's the thing too, though. Is like Nate Diaz does get knocked down, but he never gets knocked out.
Right.
Like
Connor
knocked him down
times.
4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But
Never
Nate
close
was just
to
like,
being out.
whatever,
He
dude,
was just
I'm
like,
up.
Whatever.
The only time Nate's ever been knocked out was from like the
That
nastiest head
Josh
kick.
Thompson fucking perfect
Yeah.
shin to the fucking
To
side
the
of your dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nate Diaz has been in some fucking wars too. Like people talk about the Conor fights, but those are just like a couple of the fights that Nate Diaz. Like those are not even his most intense wars. Like Nate Diaz has had some fucking.
And this isn't
bro.
fucking 5-6 years ago. This is the time where Nate Diaz belongs at welterweight. He's
Yeah.
a big fucking man these days. This isn't the scrawny kid from Tough.
No.
He's fucking 6'1", I believe, 6 foot even.
He's
Either way,
definitely
he's
starting to
filled the
fill
fuck
out,
out.
too,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
over 30. We've seen him in person. Stood right next to him. He's fucking large and in charge.
Yeah.
Like he's not the fucking scrawny little fucking stick figure from back in the day. Like dude
Yeah.
belongs at 170. I don't think this stint at 170 is going to go at all like his previous one. And people keep trying to throw that comparison up there. Oh, he's 2-4 at fucking welterweight. Whatever, dude. He's not a kid fighting at a weight class he
He
didn't
fought
belong
Roy
in
McDonald
anymore.
when he was supposed to be 155.
Right.
Not like if he fought Roy
No, he's-
McDonald now, they'd be very similar in size.
Fuck yeah, absolutely, man, 100%. And for whatever reason, that's not getting talked about a whole lot. But I think he belongs at 170. Pettis, I don't know. He's still fairly new to the weight class. Nate's only had a couple fights, but he's been walking
But
around
then
with
again,
that big weight for a long time.
We've talked about it as well. Pettis is looking way more thick these days than he's ever has.
that's for sure. It's a lot better idea than.
Remember
a
when we
terrible
saw him in
145.
person at the Palms fight?
Yeah.
And he was fucking huge.
He's
We were like,
humongous,
remember
yeah.
he was fighting Thompson in like 2 weeks before that or something like that. And dude, he just looked huge. It was like,
He
what
did.
the fuck are
It
you
was
doing?
Surprising, for real.
So maybe both these guys are just at a point in their life where they're a little bit older. Cutting the weight is not really gonna make their career any longer, and they can go up and get these big fights as long as they can. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whether a fight like this is perfect because both these guys are very similar in like story.
God,
Like
it's
you know
gonna
what I
be a
mean?
fucking
Like
war, man.
it's gonna be sick.
Do you think Pettis is going to try the typical Nate Diaz brother, whoever, Nate or Nick, where the leg kick strategy is what I mean? You think he's just going to go for the leg?
Absolutely. If he doesn't,
And then the
he'd be
question is
stupid.
always, is fucking Nate going to check the kicks? Because sometimes he just doesn't. Sometimes he just eats them away. I'll sit here and go, why don't you check those?
Yeah.
Then he wins the fight, so hey. But I mean, that was Conor's basic
The
strategy
question-
in the second
no, the
fight,
real
was employing
question
that
is-
leg kick.
Is how far is Pettis going to stay away from him? Because he's not going to stand in the pocket and just throw with Nate. Nate will put him down.
Nate's got some reach on him, too.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Because I think Pettis is only 5'10" at the most. I
At the
don't know off
most,
the top of
yeah.
my head, but he's
He's not a huge guy.
no. I stood by him a couple times. I don't remember him being any taller than me, and I'm 5'9". So
Yeah.
fucking, you're leaning Nate in this fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And I can't pick against fucking Nate Diaz unless he's fighting Conor, maybe.
I'd like to
Otherwise-
see Nate Diaz fight some of these bigger guys at 170. I'd like to see Nate Diaz like fight George Masvidal.
Oh fuck, that'd be a sick fight.
So let's say George Masvidal beats Leon
Because
Edwards.
it looks like he's going to fight Leon Edwards now. They're yapping back and forth,
Yeah.
which is a good signal that Masvidal's probably going to take that fight.
And then let's just give Nate somebody at welterweight in the middle of the top 10 to get the title shot. So Nate beats Pettis, beats somebody else. Jorge picks up the belt. Make Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal for the belt. That'd be one of the biggest pay-per-views ever.
That'd be crazy.
Those are like two of the most I don't give a fuck motherfuckers. They be talking mad shit. Even though George tries to pretend like he doesn't talk shit. When people talk
talks all
normal
kinds of
shit,
shit.
yeah, when people talk like real life shit, not like memes on like Twitter and shit like that, but like talking like, "I'll fuck you up right now," like that kind of shit. George always talks that shit. You know? He always does. And so does Nate. He's not like they're not like Conor or someone like that with all that witty. They're like that classic shit talk. You know?
Yeah, they're like a couple G's.
Yeah.
Fucking. All right.
Nate
Well,
Diaz is just like, fuck that guy, man.
do you think that either of these scenarios ultimately leads to Conor McGregor coming back? Because I don't. I'm still on the train that Conor ain't coming back. Not to MMA, at least. Maybe if Poirier beats Khabib, Conor might be tempted to come fight if that fight gets offered to him. But Paul's getting high over here, folks. That's the cough of a man who just took a very large hit of weed.
All right. So, yeah, taking Nate.
Taking Nate. Do you think if Nate wins, he calls out Conor, or do you think he stays in the fucking...
He said he doesn't want to fight Conor anymore.
Oh, yeah. Of course he says that.
That's what he said on Ariel's show.
Right. Well, no, that's bullshit. I mean, that's
He
the
said-
biggest
he was-
fight out there.
The good thing about that, though, is he was, like, legitimately talking, like, about he wanted to, like, come back. Like, he wanted the belt. Like,
Nate? Mm-hmm. I'm down with that plan.
I
We'll
mean,
see.
like, he was, like Ariel kept asking about, like, 155ers. He's like, stop talking about 55ers. I'm coming to 70. I'm coming for that belt. I'm done with 155. I'm done with the bullshit.
I believe that. No more 55 there.
Who knows how much he really, like, means the belt shit, because Nate Diaz fights once a year sometimes, you know.
What do you think? What do you think he wins by? Let's go circle back to that. Do you think it's a decision, or do you think it's TKO?
TKO,
Yeah,
round 3.
it's round 3 TKO.
Pettis
Diaz.
fades.
Pettis fading out. I agree with that. Actually, I'd say about the same. Round 3 TKO. I like it.
I could see it going very similar to the Michael Johnson fight. Very similar, where Pettis is going to get a little too into the whole shit talk, like in the cage thing, and he's going to take more risks and more like, come on, right here, stand right in front of me, you know, that kind of shit. And Nate's always game for that shit, so he's going to hit him with like a lot of 1-2s. He's going to smack him a few times and probably just beat him up. Whether he TKOs him or not, I don't know. But it'll either be that or he just beats him down decision.
Think that sends Pettis back to 55?
Nope.
All right.
I think he's staying at 70.
I hope he does. All right, that leaves the big boys. DC versus Miocic, number 2.
I don't know, man. I keep wanting to say Stipe is going to win this fight, but I just have that doubt lingering in the back of my head. Like, fuck, man, DC's going to knock him out again.
Well, if he employs the same flicking of his fingers into his eyes, perhaps, but otherwise, I like Stipe in this one.
I just don't know exactly what. I don't know. It was just so weird how he was able to touch him like that, though. We've never seen DC knock someone out like that.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I'm always harping about it, but it's not really an excuse. He knocked him out with a right hand coming at a fucking eyeball that had just had the shit poked out of it. Like, you can't
I feel
see.
you, but-
and a fighter can't say he can't see because that is an automatic doctor stoppage. If a fighter's like, no, my eyes, I'm seeing 2. That's it. Fight's over. They always say, no, I'm good. Now, Stipe's not out there making an excuse, but just to me, in all seriousness, like, not just because I'm...
Oh, no, I
like
agree with
Stipe.
you. There was tons
Like-
of eye pokes. It was
Like,
rough.
there's a ton of eye pokes, and that was the side that he didn't see that punch coming, like, because his eyes, you know.
Yeah, but here's
I really think that played a big part of it, and I don't think it's going to happen again.
here's the thing, though. We've seen Stipe get hit like that by people multiple times in his career.
What, take a right hand?
No, take
took
open
Ngannou's.
shots on the chin. When he fought Alistair, when he fought...
Ah, no. Every fighter takes a hit.
Yeah, but you can't deny he does get reckless.
Did he get reckless against Ngannou?
No, but that's because he wasn't fighting someone who... you know that's all game plan, though. I'm talking about in his other fights, like in the JDS fights. In the fucking... in a lot of his fights, he tends to get wild once he starts to get going, is what I'm saying. Like, perfect example. In that DC fight, yes, he did get poked in the eye, but you cannot deny, at the beginning of the round, he was following a game plan where he was staying on the outside and was not entertaining any kind of grappling, and he was just picking DC apart. But as soon as he started to get a little bit of success, he started throwing the bigger shots and getting a little bit closer, and that's when the eye pokes came. As soon as he started to get a little bit closer to DC felt like he was in his range and then got him with the eye pokes a few times. And then, unfortunately, he was willing to stay in that range and got knocked out.
Well, another reason I keep harping on those eye pokes, too, is they weren't fucking accidental.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, there's slow motion video of his closed fist approaching Stipe's face and then his fucking hands flicking open. Like, that's why I'm always harping on it. Not because, like, it was some, oh, whoops, my thumb went in your fucking eye.
Yeah.
It was to me, what was a flagrant fucking foul from a guy who always cries about John Jones' flagrant fucking eye pokes. But irregardless, you could have a point there, but so do you think Stipe makes that same mistake twice?
I hope
after
not.
A year off?
I hope not, but I'm telling you, man, something just like is screaming in the back of my head that DC's not losing this fight.
DC's going to lose. That's mine. I hope. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and be shocked if he wins. But, okay, let's say he loses. I think he retires.
I think he walks away either way.
Yeah, I think he does either way, too. I don't think there's a John Jones fight in his future. That's just fucking talk. I mean, I don't think John Jones is going to fight the winner. If it's Stipe or fucking DC, I think that's just talk.
Well, let me just give you a perfect example. Let's just go straight into it. I mean, pretty much we both know you're going Stipe. I'm pretty much taking DC just because I don't. Okay, so the reason why I think DC retires now is because this week we had 2 light heavyweight fights that were announced that are real. There's a really good chance the winner of either of them could be John Jones' next opponent. So he has other challengers at light heavyweight right now.
Yes.
That I think Johnny Walker and John Jones is a bigger fight than DC John Jones 3.
We've seen DC lose to John Jones
especially
twice,
if it's at light heavyweight. If it's at heavyweight, it could be different. It would be a bigger pay-per-view if it's at heavyweight.
That's the only flavor that could change it up.
DC saying that he's going back to light heavyweight for it. Jones said he's not going up. So if it's at light heavyweight a third time, I think the luster of the whole fight is completely ruined because it's just like, okay, we've seen that twice.
Agree with that shit. Yeah.
Because it's not like in the... Yeah, you can say the second fight got turned to a no contest, whatever. But in the first fight, John Jones completely dominated him. And the only reason DC got the second fight is because he earned the second fight. Mm-hmm. He didn't get the second fight because it was like, man, that was so close.
No, that's true. He earned his way back.
Yeah, that was an extremely one-sided decision in the first time. Yeah, DC had his moments, but that's because DC is the second best fighter in the world, you know?
Yeah.
But Jones has beat him both times pretty handily. Do we want to see that a third time at light heavyweight?
I have no interest in that fight, honestly.
The only thing at heavyweight that I think makes it more interesting is what happened in the Stipe fight, and if it happens to Stipe again, and that is the power that DC is able to carry at heavyweight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, we'll find out. Either way, no matter what happens. Now, let's flip the script here. If Stipe wins, how do you not deny that he's the greatest heavyweight of all time? He'll have the most defenses, and then he'll have avenged that fucking loss. Be a 2-time champ with the most defenses.
I told you, my greatest of all time is Fabricio Werdum. He's beat everybody.
Did he beat Stipe?
No, but Stipe does not have his... You cannot deny.
No,
Werdum has like...
Verdum's got a better resume
name
right
for
now.
Name, he has the greatest resume in heavyweight history.
No, you can't deny that.
And
That's
he's held belts in every major organization.
You're right. I'm just talking shit. You can't... you can't... What, you can talk shit
People
about
like
Verdum's record? I mean, it's fucking right there.
Well, even the UFC kind of like was so quick to jump off the Werdum train.
No, there's a solid argument. He's the GOAT heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a rough patch recently, but he's older now. It's like if people held all Fedor's last few fights against him, against his legacy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You can't hold fights against someone's legacy when they're fighting when they're fucking 40.
I agree.
You know what I mean? It's like fighting's a young man's sport. You know, it's always...
And the young eat the old.
Yeah, always, man.
Absolutely. Well, that's pretty much wraps up. You're going DC, I'm going Stipe. That wraps up the card for next week. But we touched on it briefly. There were some fights announced, and one of them being Johnny Walker versus Chris Weidman at light heavyweight.
No. Johnny Walker, Corey Anderson.
I'm sorry, Johnny Walker, Corey Anderson. Chris Weidman is fighting
Dominick Reyes.
Dominick Reyes, yeah.
That seems like a little light heavyweight tournament right there.
Yeah, it does. That it does. Who do you like?
Because they're back-to-back cards, too, because it's October 18th in Boston is Reyes, Weidman, and then Walker and Anderson is in MSG in November. So it's like they're right back-to-back. So it's really going to come down to who has the best performance is really going to get Jones. I think Weidman-Jones is the biggest sellable fight.
Yeah, if Weidman comes out looking sharp at 205.
If he just comes out and knocks Reyes clean out, which he could, because Reyes, he's had some questionable moments recently, I think. Yeah.
He had a hard time with Latifi. Or not Latifi. I was thinking
Ozdemir. I
Yeah.
thought Ozdemir won that
I
fight.
thought that's just what I was thinking, too. I thought both of Ozdemir won that fight.
I was like, oh, that's rough.
Yeah.
But hey, can't put it in the hands of the judges.
That's the fight. Out of all of those possible contenders to Jones, the Weidman, to me, is the most exciting one if he looks good.
Yeah. But then again, you got Corey Anderson and Johnny Walker, who are
I
both
think Johnny Walker's
on
gonna
a
piece
tear.
him up.
You think so? Yeah. I think Corey Anderson's going to
Corey Anderson might wrestle fuck him, but I don't know.
What if Corey Anderson goes out there and knocks him out?
That'd be pretty surprising.
He gets the Jones fight if that happens.
Yeah, he goes out and makes a statement like that and plays it right on the mic. I
Well,
mean, he's
what
trying.
he's-
He
he's
chased
smart,
Jones down
though.
to
He's
that
smart, though.
autograph signing or whatever.
He campaigned for this fight, and the way he did it is he got in with Joe Rogan. He got on the Joe Rogan Experience and became a likable character to a lot of people. Because if you listen to that
haven't seen
podcast, he just just made it seem like the way he was talking about it, he just is a pretty likable guy. He has a good story. He was super overweight, and then he got all his he wrestled his whole life. He was good in college and shit, but he wasn't really good enough to do he was he could have gone to the Olympics, I guess, but not really. He wasn't good enough. He was a great folk style wrestler, but I don't think he was good enough freestyle wrestler to go to the next step. He said he pretty much was lost after that, and then Ben Askren got him into MMA, and he trains with Mark Henry and everything now. So he's definitely got the mind behind him. So it's really going to come down to if he can just out fundamental Johnny Walker. I think he can beat him because Johnny Walker is fucking wild. You gotta just be ready for his ass to be weird,
He could put him down, ground and pound him out. It could happen, but I think Walker's going to win that fight. But it's pretty early for predictions, I suppose. But I like Walker. I like Weidman.
This could change over the next few months too, because
sure.
there could be some kind of issues with Walker. He's coming off a fucking shoulder injury from being a dumbass.
Either way, fucking light heavyweight. I mean, what was it? 8, 9, 10 months ago, we were like, this division fucking sucks.
Wasteland.
And now it's...
And that's why everyone
got a lot
wanted
of
Jones
action.
to go to heavyweight.
Yeah, it's got a lot of action going on right now, which is exciting. It's good shit.
Hell yeah.
Well, this fight hasn't been announced, but what about Frankie Edwards? What is wrong with my fucking... if I smoke too much weed, is the Bruce Banner Hulk my brain out? I can't fucking speak right now. I'm fucking Hulk. Frankie Edgar dropping to bantamweight, and your boy Henry
Talking shit.
calling for that fight.
I like the fight, but not yet.
I like the fight, but not now. You can't just fucking fuck over 2 divisions again and give Frankie another.
Give
title shot
Frankie,
right away.
give Frankie somebody.
They both need to at least win a fight or 2.
Yeah.
For God's sake. But that
Frankie
could be
should fight Marlon. I'm just kidding.
That could be interesting down the line if it plays out.
Yeah. It could be. Because, I mean, there's contenders at 35, but is there? You know what I mean?
I think you can't deny fucking Aljamain Sterling a title shot.
Aljo's definitely up there, and Jan's up there, but, other than those two, everybody else has either fought for the title or lost in their last few fights. The only person that I just had high idea right now, dude.
Uh-oh.
Dominick Cruz should come back and fight Frankie Edgar, and the winner of that gets Henry Cejudo.
That could be interesting.
That would be a fucking
I'd watch the
big
fuck out of that
fight.
Edgar versus Cruz, yeah. I'd watch the hell out of that.
That'd be a great fucking fight. And Edgar wants to take a little bit more time off after his loss to
dope.
Max.
They should do
and
that.
then Cruz is coming back soon. Oh, dude, that'd be a great fight.
Sick.
Or what if you did I don't know. It'd be rough. What if you did like Garbrandt and Edgar? That'd be rough for Garbrandt. Just because 4 in a row, dude, that'd be terrible.
No, I like that Cruz fight, though.
That Cruz fight would be
That
sick.
actually makes some sense.
That'd be awesome.
You could have Henry defend his flyweight title in the meantime.
Well, you still got to
Or
have
have
him
him fight Aljo.
Yeah.
That'd be even better, honestly.
Yeah. I don't think he's going to go back to 25.
You think he's going to get stripped?
Yeah.
I figure it's likely, too. I think
It's
he
just
lost
too
that
hard to
35.
balance two
Yeah.
weight classes in a career. Like you have to fight so.
The only person that can do
often.
it is Amanda Nunes, and that's because the 145-pound division
it's
is virtually
barren.
non-existent.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, and everyone thought was the flyweight division
is there
was
even a
barren,
top
but
5?
in what?
The women's 145.
No, there's not
No,
even
there's
a
not even-
ranking
Yeah.
on there.
I mean, could you? Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
there's
no.
5 fucking fighters in it.
There's
Anyways,
that's the way to get to the
that's why
title.
she can defend too. Yeah,
If I was a
But
115 fighter, I'd go to 145.
115. Just pack on them pounds. Hit the Vegas buffets, baby.
145, like, I just gotta beat Cyborg, and then I'm gonna fuck Amanda
Oh
Nunes.
shit!
No,
Right.
but it's weird because you think about where Edgar is in his career. If he's always never really fought at a weight class he should be at,
I know, it's crazy.
it's like everyone. Even though at the time 155ers were smaller, like Gray Maynard and him were
He
the same
was still
size.
small
he
then,
was still small.
Yeah,
So I don't know, man. 35, I think. I wonder how his power carries down to there.
don't know.
Because if he has that same power, he could put some people down.
be fun. I'm looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
We had some boxing news break out.
Yeah, some big boxing news. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Got Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz 2 is set for December 7th over in Saudi Arabia.
That
kinda
was the big
crazy.
surprise to me. Saudi Arabia landing that fight, but okay.
There's some controversy behind this right now, though. I was reading online that Ruiz's people might want to renegotiate because now Anthony Joshua is going to get paid $70 million for this fight.
70 as in 70,
Yes.
and
And
Ruiz is
Ruiz
getting
is
what?
getting 9.
9 as in 1-9.
No, 9.
Figure 9.
Yeah, just a
Yes.
9.
Just one single digit there
Yep.
against So
After-
almost a 10x in
Yeah.
pay.
Yeah.
Joshua's getting very close.
Yeah,
That's some shit.
it's crazy.
I would be wanting to renegotiate that fight too.
I don't blame him. Well, why would you sign in the first
I
place?
don't understand.
I don't
Unless they
either.
just didn't know. They're like, you get $9 million. And he said, great. And then fucking
I hope
3
that's
days
not-
later, the news breaks. Joshua gets 70. He's like,
What
wait,
the fuck?
What? No, I have no idea. But
He's looking good though. He's posting training videos
yeah,
and shit now.
been watching
Ruiz is
some of
looking
those.
intense.
He's looking fucking fast and powerful, man.
Here's the thing.
Hit movement
Joshua's
like a
been talking
motherfucker.
about, oh, I overlooked him, all this shit like
Mm.
that, and it's like, come on, bro. Like, I still don't even think he has enough time to really get down what he needs to beat Ruiz this time. I think Ruiz beats him again.
I like that. I think you're right. I can't disagree there.
Because, I don't know, it's funny because you look at someone like Anthony Joshua, he's a big puncher, but he likes to stay on the outside. Ruiz likes to stay in your face and throw a lot of punches.
Mm-hmm.
And he throws with a lot. People don't give him enough credit for the power he throws, too. Because he was hitting
No,
Joshua
he's-
bombs,
yeah.
man. And so, I don't know. I don't see Joshua being able to make the adjustments he needs to beat Andy Ruiz.
I don't either. Andy's going to cement his position there, become probably the legit number 3 heavyweight out there right now.
He is number 3 right now.
Yeah, but there's I don't mean like he's illegitimate. I mean, just there's people that still
Yeah.
think that's a fluke. You know,
Yeah,
if
I don't know.
he goes and beats Joshua again. You
Second
can't
time.
deny
Yeah, you
his
can't
fucking
deny
ability. He's legit as fuck.
And
No
honestly,
one could deny it.
if you really think about it, you might even have the argument to put him at 2 ahead of Deontay Wilder.
Possibly.
You know, because that was supposed to be the biggest fight ever and the closest fight ever. And if Andy Ruiz goes in there and knocks him out like he did last time, where, yeah, there was some adversity, but it was pretty fucking quick when you think about it.
Yeah.
So Ruiz goes in there and puts him out quick again. There's going to be that argument of like, man, how good was Anthony Joshua, but also how good is fucking Andy Ruiz? You know what I'm saying? So I think he could have an argument to be number 2 if he were to win this fight.
Right behind Fury. That'd be fucking some interesting. If he winds up, if it plays out good and he gets the eventual winner of both the Fury Wilder fights.
Well, that won't happen until 2021
So,
because their contract is
well,
to
they
fight.
signed it for February. The first
Yeah,
one.
but the thing is,
Wilder Fury.
there's a rematch clause,
Yeah,
for
they've
both
already
guys.
agreed for the next fight. Yeah,
so it's going to be 3 fights.
right. That's
But-
what I mean. That's why I said the eventual winner of all the
Yeah.
fights, because there's going to be back to
But
back.
then again,
Do you think they're going to
Tyson
stretch
Fury
it out that
is
long?
fighting another dude in a couple like weeks also, or like a month or so.
He's fighting again.
Yeah, another like top ranked guy.
Fuck it. What's Wilder doing?
Isn't he
Waiting.
fighting Ortiz?
Yeah, that's right. He's fighting Ortiz.
In that October, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That just kind of puts it in jeopardy because I think Ortiz is not a fucking. He's no
Ortiz
slouch,
is
man.
no slouch. That
Ortiz
Ortiz
has
had,
had him-
Fury, or I mean, Wilder rocked.
But then again,
that first
Wilder
fight,
also said he
but-
had the flu during that camp, and he came in weighing like 206.
That's true. He was fucking on the lighter side of his fights for that.
Yeah.
The flu would cause that.
Well, just look at him
We'll
now.
see,
Look at the
man.
weight
Shit.
he's put on recently. His last
Yeah.
fight, didn't he come in like 230?
I think it was like, I don't know. That seems a little high.
Maybe a little bit lower.
I
Maybe
think it's around
220.
216.
Really?
I thought so, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty high
He
right
looks
now.
a
and I've been
lot
thinking about
bigger,
his
at least.
Wilder's weight for a minute. So,
But yeah.
well, either way, that's some exciting shit going on in heavyweight boxing right now. So Saudi Arabia is hosting that big fight. That's fucking. I was hoping we'd get it here in Vegas, but oh well.
Yeah, shit happens.
Shit happens. We get Fury. Hopefully they'll do that fight here in Vegas.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, that would be the shit. Like that wraps up our show for the day, don't you?
Yeah, shit.
All right, cool, man. Thank everybody for tuning in. We've got a lot of new listeners lately, and we really appreciate everybody that's been tuning in and listening. You know,
Yeah, thanks, guys.
for everybody that's brand new, Paul's a former wrestler. I'm a former boxer. We don't talk anything but fights here. We're not experts, but we're big fans. We spend pretty much every free minute talking about the fights, watching fights of all sorts. We write an article over on Slugfest Magazine. Every week we do boxing picks over there. You can hear this show, S.W.A.T MMA, on Thursday nights on WBUZ 95 on the radio.net or Orange Radio app. That's 6 p.m. here in the West Coast, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. You can also find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts from and video on YouTube as well. Where can they get all that info at, Paul?
SWATMA.com. You can jump over there and grab a shirt, support the podcast. Yeah.
Find links to everything there. Thanks, everybody.
Peace.
Peace.